All right, so what about division of whole numbers? Well, the mathematical symbols that indicate division are as follows. We have the division symbol, the typical one we see if you're writing in a book left to right, that's what we see. And so it looked like something like 12 divided by 4. Then we have a thing called a fraction bar. And what that means is it's going to be this bar here between 12 divided by 4. Okay, so it's the same thing meaning, but it's written in a different fashion. And then we have our division bar, and that's going to be 4 into 12. So it's saying 12 divided by 4. So that's what we divide by. This is what we're dividing into. And so, but they all mean that we say 12 divided by 4, and we know that 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3, no matter which way we represent this. Okay. Now, we have special names for each of these pieces, the 12, the 4, and the 3. And so those are going to be quotients, the dividend, and the divisor. So if we look at this, I've kind of written it all out in again, basically, with the numbers in all appropriate positions. And what we have is that whole number 12 is called the dividend, okay? So that is the dividend, what we're dividing into. The whole number 4, which we're dividing by, is called the divisor. So we're dividing by the divisor. And then our whole number 3, which is our answer, is called the quotient. Okay, so sometimes when you see questions, they'll say, okay, the dividend is this, the divisor is this, and the quotient is this. Or maybe they'll say, find the quotient of 12 divided by 4. And so if you don't realize that, oh, they just want the answer of 12 divided by 4, you're going to have a little bit of problems. So knowing those three names for the three pieces of a division are kind of important. Now, the fraction is basically our expression a over b, which is 12 divided by 4. That's really a fraction. And the number on top is our numerator, and the number on the bottom is the denominator. And with fractions or division or however you want to look at it, basically we have repeated subtraction. So with multiplication, remember, we had repeated addition. Well, division is going to be the kind of opposite of that. It's going to be the repeated subtraction. So if you think about what we had before, if we had addition, we had all those properties we could use, and subtraction, we couldn't use any of those properties. Works similarly here with the division. So let's say we have 12 divided by 4. Well, what is that? Well, that's equivalent to saying how many 4s can we subtract off from 12? So what we're going to do basically is start at 12 and subtract off subsequent 4s until we get to 0, or as close to 0 without going past. So what we're going to have to do is mark on our number line 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now, instead of starting at 0 and we were adding, we're going to start here because that's what we're dividing by. And we want to subtract off 4. So we're going to first subtract off 4. That's the first 4. And then we're going to subtract off 4 more. That's another 4. And then we'll subtract off 4 more. And now, guess what? We're at 0. So we subtracted off 3 of these. So that says 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. Now, sometimes we don't get exactly equal to 0. We're going to get close to 0. And that happens in something like this one, 7 divided by 3. So say we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we're starting at 7. And we want to subtract off 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. So that's our first 3. Now we're going to subtract off 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Now we're here. Now we can't subtract off another 3 because we'll go past 0. So what happens is this is our remainder. So then we have 7 divided by 3 is equal to, well, we have 1, 2, and we have a remainder of what? Well, we have a remainder of 1. Okay, so there's going to be different ways we're going to write remainders, but right now we can just say the answer is basically 2 with a remainder of 1. Sometimes eventually when we get to non-whole numbers, we could say 2 and the remainder is 1 and it's going to be basically 1/3 because when we divide that, that's 2 and 1/3, and that would be our solution. So if we multiply back out, eventually we'll say, well, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7, and so that gives us 7/3, which is what that is, and that would be the fractional representation of the 2 with a remainder of 1. So right now, we're just going to worry about 2 remainder 1. All right, so kind of like I said, we have subtraction here, so we don't have a lot of the properties we can use like when you have addition, because it's not commutative, because order really matters when we're dividing, because 12 divided by 4 we know is 3, but 4 divided by 12, well, that's equal to 1/3, because if we think about that, we're going to have fractions, and we can reduce, and if we divide this by 4, we get 1, divide that by 4, we get 3, and so this becomes 1/3. And if you note, that's not a whole number. So we're only working with whole numbers. And so really, we're not going to get into this really right now. Now, division is also not associative. When dividing 3 or more numbers, the order they're grouped in really affects the answer usually. And so if we look here, we have a couple examples. So if we take 48 divided by 8 first and then divide by 2, well, 48 divided by 8 is 6, and then we still divide by 2. 6 divided by 2, well, that's just 3. Okay, so we can do a lot of this in our head. And now here we're going to take 48 divided by, now we're associating the last two instead of the first two, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 48 divided by 4, well, that's 12. And as you can see, 3 does not equal 12, and so division is not associative. Now we have a couple special things. Division by 0. Now, by definition, this is undefined. We cannot divide by 0. If you try it in a calculator, it'll say error undefined, depends on which calculator you have, but you cannot divide by 0. A lot of people say, oh, if you divide by 0, the world's going to end. And that basically means it's just undefined. We don't know what's going to happen. So when we say 6 divided by 0, or 6 divided by 0, or 6 divided by 0, again, all the three representations, those are all undefined. But the corollary is we can take 0 and divide by any number, though. We can say 0 divided by 6, and 0 divided by 6, and 0 divided by 6, and all of those are equal to 0. So it matters where that 0 is. If it's in the denominator, it's undefined. If it's in the numerator, it's just equal to 0. Because here you're thinking, okay, well, we have a pie. I'm getting 0 slices of it, so how much am I getting? Well, I'm getting 0 slices. But here, I'm going to have nothing, and then can't divide by 0, and so basically that's undefined. So there's no kind of a nice picture to how to do this one. Just remember dividing by 0, undefined. But if you're getting 0 parts out of this is 6 out of a pie, then you get 0 pieces, and so that's 0. Okay, long division. So we've been looking at those easy ones that were short things, but sometimes we get numbers that are quite large and we have to divide. And so what we do is long division. And so we have to remember which part's a divisor, which one's a dividend, and where the quotient's going to be in our final thing. And so if we think about this, we're going to take 44 into 2816. And that's how it's going to represent. This is a divisor, this is a dividend, and when we get done up here, that's going to be our quotient. So now we have to take 44 into this. Well, this isn't, exactly easy to do. How many times does 44 go into? And what we do is we start at the left one and say, does it go into 2? No, so we can skip over. How many times does 44 go into 28? Well, it doesn't do that either. Now, how about 44 into 281? Well, that one I don't know for sure. So what I have to do is I have to start going down here and say, well, let's take 44. And if I have times 5, that's going to give me 20 something. If I have 6 times 4, that's 24. So let's try 6 and see what we get here. So when we do division, we have to also be able to do multiplication. And then up here, we'll also be doing subtraction. So division is a combination of multiple things. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 2 is going to be 26. All right, so that's smaller than that, so it might work. So let's do 264. Let's go ahead and put our 6 here. And remember, we're subtracting here, 281 minus 264. Now, if we remember when we subtract, we have to borrow here in this case. So that's a 7. That becomes 11. So now what we have is 11 minus 4, and that's going to give us a 7. 7 minus 6 is a 1. And then with that 6 here, we just bring that down. And now we have 44 has to go into 176 how many times? Well, 4 times what? And that's kind of what I look at. 4 times 5, when I tried that, I knew that was 20. That was pretty small compared to 28. Now I'll have 44 times what? Well, if I take it times 4, that's 16. So I have 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16, 17. So that's what I want. So I'm going to have a 4 here. That's 176. I subtract that off, and guess what? We have a 0 remainder. So my answer here is 64. Okay. And so that's how we do the long division. You have to first figure out what's your first number to go in here. 44 doesn't go into 2, doesn't go into 28, but it will go into 281. And then we just have to figure out how many times. And then that's when you have to start doing all this extra hand stuff down here. Now, note the thing with this class is no calculators are allowed. So don't try to do all the homework with calculators, and then you get to an exam where you can't use the calculator, and all of a sudden you're having to think about, how do I do this? And so always keep working with all by hand and not a calculator when you're doing your homework and quizzes and other things. All right, what about this one? Well, here we have 92 is going to go into 17756. All right, so 92 goes into 1? No. How about 17? No. How about 177? Well, yeah, it'll go into 177. If I take 2 times 9, though, that's going to be 18, so that's going to be too big. So I think it's going to be a 1, and I don't have to do any multiplication yet. So let's subtract that off. So 7 minus 2 is 5. Well, here I'm going to basically just take 17 minus the 9, and so that's going to be an 8. So I've kind of borrowed 1 here, that's a 0, and that's 17. But since that's the only thing left over, 17 and 9, I can just say that's 8. So we have 85. Well, now we have to bring down our next number, which is a 5. Now we have to figure out how many times does 92 go into this. Well, 9 times what is going to give me something in the 80s? Well, 9 times 9 is 81. And so let's try a 9. I don't know if that's going to work, but let's see. 2 times 9 is 18. That's 81, 82. Well, that's smaller, so let's use that. So 828. Subtract. Let's remember to put our 9 up here. And now we subtract. Okay, well, here we have to borrow, so let's go ahead and change colors. So we're going to borrow 1 here. That's a 4 now. We have 15 here. And so 7 plus 8 is 15, so it's a 7. 4 minus 2 is 2. 8 minus 8 is 0. And now we have to bring down our 6. Now, one thing is, sometimes I look at the first number and say, well, 9 times what gives me something in the 80s, and I said 9. Sometimes I look 2 times what gives me that 6. Well, 2 times 3 will give me a 6. And so if I take 92 times 3, that gives me a 6. That's giving me a 27, exactly what I need. And so I kind of do tricks. I look at the first one when I have bigger numbers, and I can say, okay, well, what can work there? I took the 9 times 2 and got 18. Well, that's bigger than 17. So I said, well, it has to be a 1. 9 times 9 was 81. So okay, that should work. So I tried it. And if you ever try something and it's too big or too small, try the next one. So you started with 92 times 8. Well, then it's really small. And so then you go to 92 times 9, and then it fits. So there's always a lot of practice and multiplication in when you do division. And so that was 276. We subtract that, that's 0. And so this is equal to 193. Okay. And again, practicing division is really a good thing because it really helps you with multiplication as well as subtraction. Okay. And I'll pause here and then I'll come back with some examples.